I told you not to count Max Holloway out. The way people were talking about it as if it was like these guys are on a whole different level. I just couldn't believe it. It was blowing me out. Even the size difference, and yeah, I didn't think that was the case at all. So I was quite surprised how people were talking. And so yeah, obviously I didn't expect him to get a knockout, which that was a surprise to me. But I expected him to be in a good chance to be very competitive or even win. So I picked him to win. But he was up I think 4 rounds to one, going what, 1 second to go, I think it was, or however long it was. Yeah, 1 second to go, wasn't it? Yeah, and so that's when they got the finish. But he was, 10, 15 seconds out. He's like, let's do it. Iconic Max Holloway moment with Justin Gaethje when he's already 4 rounds up. Talk about BMF, mate. Kudos to him for that. That was pretty incredible.
And he walked him. He actually walked Justin Gaethje to the middle of the octagon and said, hey, come on, you really want to fight me? And they ensue in a beautiful shootout. And you got Max. And before they got in a shootout, Max was winning this fight hands down from the first round to the 5th round. And there's times when Max hurt him multiple times, and he hit him with the 18-piece chicken meal, gave him a soda from Colonel Sanders' fried chicken bucket, and then at the very end, he walks him to the middle of the octagon and says, let's go down. They ensue in a shootout. In this shootout, Max always said he's done it with Ricardo Lamas, and now he does it with one of the most dangerous persons, the former baddest mother on the planet, Justin Gaethje. He shoots in the shootout, and he comes back, pop, pop, pop. Beautiful right hand, overhand right lands, and just sleeps, sends Justin Gaethje to the shadow realm.
Gaethje had some moments, but he was never like controlling, winning the fight, So for him to do that at a little point, when that dude points to the ground, wherever the you become an Olympic track sprinter. Do the opposite. Don't fucking engage. Man, he's everybody's favorite fighter. He's all fighters' favorite fighter. I've always loved Max.
That's what the BMF does. That right there, that end of that fight is exactly what we signed up for. That is exactly what that title is about. Am I right or am I wrong? That's exactly what that title is about. We are BMFs. Let's meet in the center and let's go. And who would have ever bet that Justin Gaethje loses that type of fight? In the center, we're swinging. Who bets that Justin Gaethje loses? No one. I certainly didn't.
That was like a movie-like crescendo. It was just incredible. The BMF is about trying to be a fighter's fighter. The type of fighter that other fighters look and go, I want to be like that guy. Those are the type of performances that I want to be in. That's what Max Holloway gave us tonight. Of course, one of the greatest featherweights of all time. That's a fact. Moving up a weight class against Justin Gaethje, one of the most dangerous hard hitters, a man that's going to go right through him. What is Max Holloway doing? He shouldn't be doing this. He's going to get killed. Look at that performance. Outclassed him from start to finish.
If it didn't have that insane ending, everyone still should be kind of bowing down to Max Holloway. And it was a great reminder for me because I was not wrong, dead wrong about this fight. I thought Gaethje had this one in the bag. And certainly it's not a great way to start a fight by getting your nose broken at the end of round 1. Now, that's never a good thing. Badly. However, this was a masterful performance from Max Holloway. Holloway was on fire. He was utilizing all the right tools.
I said in my breakdown that I just felt like Holloway would have the speed advantage, but the guy who hits like the truck is going to be Gaethje, and the volume was going to be on the advantage side of Holloway. And when he got down, he dipped, and he ripped the body a couple of times. I want to say it was 2 or 3 times, and he said pop, 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 and then came with the overhand right over Gaethje's guard. Both his hands were down. He was getting ready to throw clean right on the chin, and man, that was as beautiful as an overhand right that you could land tight in the pocket like that. And unfortunately, Gaethje had to eat that, and that's the game, man. The pictures of that was just, those are gonna be some legendary, iconic photos. Like I know what that feels like to kind of be that man face down. So that sucks.
My first instinct was praying to God that Gaethje was gonna get up and be okay, man, because it was a tough one to see the way he crumbled. And then also, I mean, it's just one of those things where that's why we love this sport, man. And that's why we love guys like Gaethje. We love guys like Holloway. I'm one of those guys where people are watching. The onlookers are watching. And Gaethje could have just been like, forget it, man. I'm just going to tiptoe around for the next 10 seconds. I probably lost the fight. I think he would have been down on the scorecards. But goes out there, slings leather, completely reckless abandon, and gets absolutely flatlined. You know, so it's, yeah, man, it was crazy. I mean, that was obviously the best part of the fight. The last 10 seconds was, you know, the best part of the fight. I think he got his nose broken in the first round. But man, hats off to Max. You know, Max would be a guy I would love to fight for that belt at some point.
Gaethje is a monster, but let me tell you something. Max Holloway is a different animal. I am a huge fan of Max Holloway. He's a guy that never was involved in polemics. He doesn't call anybody out. He just go over there and do his job professionally for the last 15 years, fighting the best. I think he for sure is one of the best fights ever. I really appreciate Max Holloway fighting style, his personality. I think everything about Max Holloway is legendary.
I mean, people were counting out Max. I remember talking about saying you should never count out Max, but then I was rewatching some videos and I was seeing Max eating a lot of shots, and I'm like, I don't know if he's going to be able to eat those shots versus Justin Gaethje, but Justin Gaethje was throwing 1-2 punch combos, and Max was just so much ahead of him. Max was counter punching at all the right times, making him pay, sitting in the pocket at the right times, really piecing him up, and that was an absolute crazy performance by Max.
And he set himself up now to be a contender or title challenger in 2 weight classes.
Oh,
with
yeah.
one fight, with one performance. And again, it's another reminder, you can change the trajectory of your career with one strike, with one performance. Let's go back to Masvidal, who was fighting for years. He does a flying knee over Askren, and now he's the biggest thing in mixed martial arts, right? So again, it's so interesting how you can change a narrative very, very quickly.
Yeah, it's a wonderful position to be in, because now you have unlimited options, but now you have to be sensible about what direction you want to take. Are you trying to make money, or are you trying to become champion, or which direction are we going here? For Max, I would say 100. Of course, I liked the call outs, but I think 145 at this point should kind of be on the back burner.
We have options, brother. I ain't in a rush. No, I ain't going nowhere. I'm only 32, brother. A lot of people watched me fight when I was 20 in this sport, and you guys think I'm like 41 or something. You guys think I'm DC's age. You know, I'm not. I'm 32. I'll be around for a long time. Get used to it.
This was the best Max Holloway I've seen in a very long time, and it was a great reminder to me, hey man, give these guys a chance. Even as many fights as he's had, they still can evolve, and that's because Max Holloway is not only a fighter, but he's a martial artist as well.
I hope so. I hope so. If you be a man, if you want to be great, that's what great fighters do. Everybody thought I was lying when I said I was a gladiator. You know what I mean? I ain't lying. Any weight, whoever, whatever, anyone can get it.
And as Joe Rogan said on the broadcast, you know, this win essentially takes him from arguably the greatest featherweight of all time to one of the all-time greats. And I'm glad that, not that he needed it, but I'm glad that he's now in that conversation. What a huge moment in a career full of them for Max Bless Holloway.
Watching Max Holloway in there, it was never more clear that you cannot let him get into his rhythm. Max Holloway, when he gets into his rhythm, he is a handful. We have seen him make guys like the Korean Zombie, Brian Ortega. We have seen him make Jose Aldo, and now Justin Gaethje. We made them all seem normal. These are not normal athletes. These are assassins. And when he gets to flowing, you can't stay with him. You got to disrupt his rhythm very early.
Let's remember the narrative was Max Holloway, you know, he was a great featherweight champion, but the sport's moved on. His best days are behind him. He's the second best guy at featherweight. Well, look at this now. He's just knocked out Justin Gaethje. He's in a position to defend the BMF belt. He's in a position to challenge Islam Makhachev, potentially. He's also in a position to get a rematch with Conor McGregor, because Conor McGregor has a victory over him. Don't tell me Conor McGregor's not looking at that BMF belt. And we know Conor's coming back. We'll get to that in another show.